AITA for refusing to visit my sister and her newborn. I 20 to FA am the youngest of 3 in my family. My parents got married when they were both 20 and had my sister and brother pretty quickly after. They've always planned on just 2 kids, but they accidentally became pregnant with me when they were 38, making my sister and brother 16 and 15 years older than me respectively. My parents and family have constantly reminded me throughout my childhood up until now that I was the mistaken sly ways. My mom on few occasions had told me she wished she never had me because I ruined her body. Growing up, I was often compared to my sister and always reminded of how I paled in comparison to her. Relatives would often berate me about my appearance, especially acne, which I have no control over. My aunt once told me it is a shame that I was born dark and how my parents were blessed to have one daughter with lighter skin. My own mother would say how much of a disappointment I am for not being as educationally gifted as my sister, even though we both got A's in high school and college. She has even told me that my degree wasn't as useful as my sister's, even though our careers are in the same field. My father would avoid looking or speaking with me, but would constantly communicate with my other 2 siblings. He would only speak with me if he had an issue with what I was doing. Because of this, over the years, I have developed dislike towards her. I hate being near her and I loathe seeing her. I would often evade her if she entered a room. Also, because of our age difference, we have never really talked properly or interacted a whole bunch. I've never heard her say anything bad about me, but I just can't help it. I dislike her. When I left for college, I really started enjoying life again and became more social. In general, I felt happier and freer and felt like I didn't have to act so grumpy and depressed all the time like when I was at home. However, after I've graduated, I have come back home for the summer and have regressed back into that mentality. It also didn't help that my sister was pregnant with her first child after suffering from infertility issues, and everyone around me constantly talked about how she looks radiant and beautiful. Earlier last week, she gave birth to a baby girl, and everyone has been visiting her at the hospital. I was able to weasel my way out of going when she was in labor, but now, everyone is pushing me to go, calling me rude and selfish if I don't. I just don't want to go because I don't know what I'll say if I hear one more person make a comparison or compliment her. Second story. AITA for telling my husband no. In the last few hours, I have 28 found out that my husband M30 made tentative lunch plans with his family and brother without asking me about my schedule for next Thursday. I told my husband to go without me if that's the day everyone is set on. I'm not mad about him going, just more of his expectation that I would drop everything to join the lunch during work. And he's annoyed that I've said no, but my work takes priority, and if this was planned for after work, then it would be more than doable. We are leaving for a wedding this weekend and returning home on Sunday. The plan I thought was to stop by my in-laws' house on the drive back and say goodbye to my husband's brother before he leaves for his senior year of college a few days later on Thursday afternoon. We both work mostly remote jobs, and I have general working hours from 9 to 5-ish or 10 to 6-ish. The only time I am able to comfortably leave my desk is to go to my workout class for 1 to 1.5 hours right before the start of my day. My Phil texted my husband and said my Bill was depressed that he couldn't see my husband before leaving, even though we were going to stop by to say goodbye on Sunday. My Phil told him that he realizes my husband is busy, but to try to accommodate. This upset me for a couple of reasons. First, I got the impression that my Phil doesn't care about my job schedule, and he doesn't feel like it's hard to accommodate such a request when in reality, meetings are generally scheduled more than a week out. And even if it's not a meeting-heavy day or week, there is still work to do, especially in my field of public health where it's very research and writing focused. It seems like he only prioritized my husband's schedule and I would just tag along, agree with everything. Second, we see my husband's family at least 1 to 2 times a month, and they live 30 minutes from us. Anything more than that, I feel like I would get anxious, as I'm naturally more of an introvert and need time at home to reset my social battery, whether it's family or friends. So, for them to act like it's not good enough for us to swing by the day after a wedding to come say goodbye on Sunday instead of Thursday rubs me the wrong way. I'm pretty upset about the lack of communication from my husband's side. He went ahead and tentatively said, "Let's meet for lunch next Thursday right before his brother drives off to college," then caught me up with the plans. Any other time after work would be been fine. And now he's annoyed at me because I can't step out for lunch with his family during the work day on specifically a Thursday, which round trip would be at least 3 to 4 hours. It hurts me a lot because I always make sure to communicate with him before proposing or committing to plans with anyone. AITA. Like and subscribe for more stories.